good shoot. I got very emotional when we wrapped.
You cried like a little girl.
I did. I cried like a little girl.
It was very moving. I had to walk away.
I did too.
Because if I see a man crying,
it's hard.
Well, I get an erection.
No, I was on a plane once, and the couple in front of us were sitting a couple with 2 kids on their laps, and the flight attendant says, "You need to separate." They said, "Why?" Because you have children. There's only so many oxygen masks, and one of them will not survive. Like, why that language? Why that language?
I know couples who never travel together when they got traveling with kids.
Yeah, there's those people.
Yeah, there's those people.
There's those people.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it?
No.
But just think of that though, to really have that
both your parents
instinct.
die in an airplane.
No, but then to think, well, we don't want to both die. Let's worry about this 2-year-old.
It'd be great if the 2 planes collided in midair.
It's very turbulent. We were warned, but I'm scared, right? But because Louis is more scared than me, I'm going to burst.
I'm trying to get drunk really fast.
Oh, that was a bad one.
Huge fucking testicles.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, God.
Babies with AIDS.
Okay, now. It's such a tiny plane, so you feel absolutely everything.
Fucking.
Oh, here it comes.
Masturbating in the street.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do anything ever again. I don't want to do anything ever again. I don't want to do any more things. I've done enough. I don't want to do anything again. I just want to be in a chair on the ground. I just want to be in a chair.
Oh, Jesus.
Hitler fucked his wife. 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 Hitler fucked his wife.
Oh, God. Oh. But there's the clouds. We're going into the clouds. Okay. Okay, calm down, it'll be alright. I've never seen anyone sweat like that. He looks like a plum who someone jizzed on.
Oh.
Look at that. Oh, that's alright now. Oh. Quick, tell me about the haircut. You've had your haircut yesterday.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? Talk about something else.
I asked him to not cut it so fucking short, and he was rushing.
You mean he was in a hurry?
Oh, tits. Spray paint on a fucking tit. Spray paint my name on a tit. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh, God.
What kind of shit is this?
Oh, I don't know.
12-year-old gay kids. 12-year-old gay kids. 12-year-old gay kids, I'm serious.
Oh, God. This isn't good. I don't like this myself. That's too wobbly. That's too wobbly.
Shit.
That's too wobbly to land. What's going on? What's going on here? What's that buzzing noise? What's that noise? I've never heard that noise before. I've never heard that noise before. Look, look. He's got his hand. He's got his hand. He's got his hand up to steady himself. What's going on? Okay, we're coming in now. Right. Okay.
All right.
Right. Okay. 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 Oh. Oh. Oh, Jesus.
Frog. Fuck your mother with a frog.
Oh.
Fucking put a frog over your dick like a condom and fuck your mom. Do it. Do it before I die. It's the last thing I want. It's my last dying wish.
Oh.
I hope they find this tape like the black box. Oh, Jesus.
Comfy. It's a difficult one with a hero, isn't it? Because I think a hero should be someone who saved your life, or a relative, or someone who donated their kidney. If it's someone you've admired for a long time and made you think, maybe even changed your life, I'd say it was David Bowie. The Office sort of broke in England. You get invited to all these things. Do you want it? No. Do you want no? Do you want no? None of those. Or we're having a talent night at the BBC. No. I turned everything down, okay? And then one came through, VIP audience with David Bowie. Now, Bowie has been my hero for about 30 years. So I went, yeah, all right. So we went along, me and my girlfriend. It was amazing. Went the green room afterwards. There was various people there. And Greg Dyke, then head of the BBC, comes over and goes, "You're a fan, aren't you?" I went, "Oh, I love Bowie." He went, "Come and meet him." I went, No. He went, "No, come and meet him." I went, "Oh." We're walking to see Bowie. He goes, Salman Rushdie joins us. So there's me, Greg Dyke, my girlfriend, Salman Rushdie. We go down and meet David Bowie. Mental, okay? Next day I'm in the pub with my mate Johnny, and he goes, "What'd you do last night?" And I went, "Nothing." "Oh, what would I say?" "I was hanging out with David Bowie and Salman Rushdie. And what did you do?" So I didn't say anything.
What made me want to do a British sitcom? Well, as you probably know, my background's in serious acting before I started doing the writing, singing thing, and so something like doing the extras is a piece of cake for me, really. And it was fun working with Rick, showing him pointers, maybe new ways of approaching comedy that he hadn't really thought about before, I think.
And he knew who I was then. I think someone told him afterwards, and they gave him a DVD of The Office, and I got an email out of the blue from him. He's like the FBI. He just got my email. I think he's like plugged in to the World Wide Web, and he just put, "I watched, I laughed, what do I do now?" And we became sort of pen pals.
When we came up with the idea of doing a song, he said he would do the lyrics with Stephen, and I said that would be great. I'd love that to happen, and I'd do the melody. If you keep looking like that, your face will stay like it. That's really quite a zinger, isn't it? And that kind of thing, you see. So I've been writing jokes for him, and he assures me they'll be in the future episodes. So it's been very fulfilling, this whole experience.
I was on tour in the United States back in '89, and we did a show in Cincinnati. During that show, I shouted out, "It's great to be in Cincinnati." That was a lie.
So I also like the fact that they're aware of their legend. I quite like that.
Right.
That they know the press's perception of them, that they play with, and they want to let you know that they're above that.
Right.
That's nice.
You'd think that being a famous rock star, married to a supermodel, would be one of the greatest things in the world. It is.
We went to his apartment, and we went in, and the doorman there went, "Oh, you're here to see Mr. Jones?" And I went, "Oh yeah, of course I'm here to see Mr. Jones. David Bowie doesn't really exist."
Right. He was Davy Jones.
Yeah, we went upstairs, and it was just made a coffee. He just had it was after his little heart incident.
Yeah.
And he came round with 2 cups of coffee, pretending to be shaky and old.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's fucking having a laugh. He's mucking around. This is David Bowie. This is my hero. And the apartment is as you would imagine, like something from a magazine.
Yep.
And there was this amazing, huge statue, this work of art, like a pewter thing. I went, "That's amazing." I said, "Who's that?" He went, "Oh yeah, the artist there was trying to do, you know what Picasso did with 2D? He made it sort of 3D. He tried to flip it and make the statue that was 3D, 2D. Anyway, my daughter likes to hit that with a hammer."
And I remember I sent them an email for his, I think, 57th or 58th birthday, and I put, "Happy birthday," and I put 58. Isn't it time you got a proper job? Ricky Gervais, 42, comedian. He sent back, I have a proper job. David Bowie, rock god. Good, that, isn't it? And I think I should talk about him as a hero before I knew him, because that obviously, for the last 10 years of my life, we were sort of friends. Which never really confused the issue, because I sort of knew him as a friend, and he was brilliant. And I had to remember, oh, that's my hero, he's a genius. But we hardly talked about his music, he wanted to talk about other things.
What would I want my son to know about his granddad? And I think it would be the same thing that most of my dad's fans have taken over the last 50 years, that he's always been there supporting, a little bit different, and he's always been there for them. So, this award is for all the kooks and all the people who make the kooks.
He sort of put my life in colour in many ways. A working class teenager in a council house in a rough estate in Reading, and I'm eating my beans on toast and I see heroes. I think it was on the TV show Mark Bolan show, and I thought, of course, you can do anything.
You have room.
The one that obviously everyone gets, and I used to be frivolous and I used to do not, now I just answer them seriously. If we evolved from apes, why are there still apes around? I used to say things like, well, if God made man from dust, why is there still dust around? And things like, you know, but now I say, well, we didn't evolve from modern apes, we evolved with modern apes from a common ancestor, rather like, and I just answer it deadly serious, like they, you know, it doesn't help. Then someone followed it up with, well, I've been going to the same zoo for 24 years and I haven't seen one monkey turn into a person. But I think, even though that's incredibly stupid, we think, actually, it shows what the problem is when people try and understand it. They can't grasp the scale of it. They can't imagine these tiny changes. No one can imagine 50 million years. So they do expect the chimp to go, come on, lad, get on with it. And that's because they also give it a will. They can't see that it's nearly an analogue thing as well. And I think you've spoken about this before, your amazing model about if you took a picture of your dad and your grandparents and their dad, at any one point you go, they look alike. But at some point is a fish. You know, eventually there's a fish. I didn't see that coming. Well, you did. You see, you know, it's so that they, again, it's the scale. The scale is unimaginable. It's lucky that it did happen because we couldn't imagine it. If it wasn't fact, we couldn't make that up.
You're not convicted of your atheism.
Well, I
You're not
am.
Sure.
No, I am, because atheism is only rejecting the claim that there is a God. Atheism isn't a belief system. Atheism. So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say I don't believe you then. So you believe in one God, I assume.
In three persons, but go ahead.
Okay. So you believe. Okay. So. But there are about 3,000 to choose from that have been, you know, people who believe in.
I've done some reading, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So basically, you believe in, you deny one less God than I do. You don't believe in 2,999 gods, and I don't believe in just one more.
Right.
I remember I did a sketch once on the 11 o'clock show, and it was about benefit cheats or means testing, right? And the joke was, I played an awful sort of bigoted right-wing news reporter, and I was going, we should test them. We should see if they're really disabled. We should tip them out the wheelchair and set the fire alarm off and see if they run, right? And also, if they say they're deaf, they might not even hear the fire alarm. They wouldn't. All this sort of nonsense, right? And someone, a lawyer or someone at Channel 4 said, "Oh, don't have a go at the deaf. They're very militant. Have a go at the blind." So it was nothing to do with morality. It was like, I'll have to write more letters. Right? And I go, well, one, the joke doesn't work because blind people can hear the fire alarm, right? It's but apart from that, this isn't to do. This is the thing about political correctness. It's not correctness. It's political correctness. So it's often, where do I get less flack? You know. So I can defend everything I've ever done. You know, I'm not one of these people who say comedy is your conscience taking a day off. I can defend every joke I've ever said because offence usually comes when they mean it. First of all, I think political correctness is good per se. I don't want people going around saying terrible things and hurting people's feelings all the time, particularly politicians. Right? But in art, it's different, and joke is very different. It's a very different thing. And when the offence comes, it's usually because they've mistaken the target of the joke with the subject, and they're not necessarily the same thing, particularly with irony. And with irony, you're purposely saying the wrong thing, and you're hoping that people are sensible and intelligent enough to get it and laugh at the stupid attitude. So confusion comes, okay? But you can't legislate against stupidity. You can only water satire down so much until it's not satire anymore. And then just standing up and preaching. You're standing up and going, racism's wrong, isn't it? And people go, yeah. Cheers, good night. You know? So as long as most people get the joke, and it's gettable, and there is a basis for it and a reason for it, and there's a comic conceit and a fair target, you can't worry about people not getting it or not liking it because that's going to happen. There's nothing you can say that someone somewhere doesn't like. And most of it's taste. It's just they didn't like it, you know. A few examples. My first gig, I think, in New York, I made jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, the Holocaust, everything, right? I did a joke about Anne Frank, right? The Nazis being so stupid they couldn't hear her type in her book, right? Okay. And it was a routine. And I got a letter of complaint from a Jewish society saying, we loved your show, but we did not appreciate the joke. I said, so you got the irony with the famine, cancer, AIDS, but you didn't like the... And of course I don't think that. I did and then they go, oh yeah, sure, okay. And most people do that, but we're human. So when we hear a thing about what we think is us, we go, well, that's a bit... We get it on all the other stuff. You can't see the wood for the trees, and that's human, right? But it's crazy to worry about one person thinking you mean them when you don't, you know? I tweeted once, why did the chicken cross the road? Hey, fuck you, my chicken died last night. You know? So someone's going to be going through some... your joke is going to remind people of a bad thing.
Everything should be subject to ridicule.
Yeah.
I mean, even just to force you to understand, think about it more.
I know. But people then they go, wow, yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah,
you know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
You know. And also then they try and do this thing. Oh, you should never punch down. You should punch up. Well, who's to say what's up and down is?
Yeah, it's a subjective.
So you're deciding who's down and who's up. No. You don't get to do that.
Yeah, no, and so there's this whole thing nowadays about not offending people and people feeling uncomfortable. In the States is a big thing with sort of target words and safe zones. People don't want to hear a word that they don't like.
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like?
It's not. It's but I think it's at least it's in the States. I think it's a property of upbringing where parents sort of convince their kids. When I was growing up, we played in the streets, right? But now you don't go in the streets; it's dangerous. Yeah. You should never take any risks, and you shouldn't do anything that might might hurt you in any way or make you uncomfortable in any way. And education and science, the purpose of it is to make you uncomfortable.
And a sense of humour.
Yeah,
it makes you bulletproof.
Yeah,
exactly. You don't have to pave the jungle.
Yeah,
you can just grow a pair and have a laugh about it. I mean,
you're offending ideas,
the comedy
but
comes
not people.
first, and I understand. Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
people try and give ideas rights.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not allowed to offend their. They jump in the way of the bullet and say, "Why are you shooting at me?"
Yeah.
Right? If someone insults maths, I don't go, "How dare you insult maths?"
Yeah.
Insult it all you like.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
If you're so fragile that you think that a joke about someone can destroy it, well, you need something else then. Yeah. It's nonsense. And now people saying, people mistake sometimes demanding equality, right, by not being part of humour.
Yeah.
It's actually demanding privilege.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. But I agree. It's someone says they're offended. I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive.
Yeah.
I want them to start saying I found it offensive, because you've got to own the emotion, because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Have you seen a change in your over the last 20 years or so about how atheism is perceived?
Well, I mean, you sort of do it. There's part of me that does it because I think I should. That there is someone being persecuted now that might, I can't change the world, but what I mean, maybe someone in a Western world that thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing, because it's still a bad thing in Western society. In America, they took a vote. America, right? Probably that big bit in the middle of America, but we were voted least trustworthy group, joint bottom with rapists. So there's still a thing about, I better not say I'm an atheist, it'll annoy my mum or dad or granddad or school. There's still that. So you do that. Some of it I do it as an intellectual pursuit, because someone asks me a question, I'd rather give the right answer than the wrong answer. I'd rather tell the truth than lie, because it's easier, I think the big thing, people think I run into churches and go, it's all fucking bollocks. I don't care. But if I'm asked if I believe in God, I'll say no. I mean, the tricky one is I did a film called The Invention of Lying, where I did a scene where 7 people saw that film, where my mother in that is dying, and it's because I'm the only person in the society who can lie. She says, I don't want to go to nothingness. And I go, there's not nothingness. It's a beautiful place you go, and you're young again. And I invent heaven, right? And that comes from the fact that when my mum was dying, I did face a dilemma. If she'd have said, do you think there's a God? That's a personal thing, and that's I just try and be honest, really. And the other thing is, if someone else's kid, 5-year-old, asks me, do I believe in God? I sort of think, what should I say here? And I say, well, I don't, but a lot of people do. What do you think? I try and there's still a level of diplomacy. It's not always my place. You know what I mean? I don't. My house, my rules. If someone asks me something on Twitter, I tell them the truth. It's
If there were 3 doors, which says God exists, God doesn't exist, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
There's 3 doors. It says God exists. It doesn't exist. I don't know.
But you not knowing is irrelevant to where there is or isn't a God. You've done a sleight of hand there on a category mistake, because 1 is knowledge and 2 are beliefs, right?
I haven't even finished my question.
No, what? No. There's always. I'm saying 3 is always there. If you had to choose one,
yeah,
it's I believe there's a God. I don't believe there's a God. I don't know is irrelevant, then, isn't it?
So you're basically saying that we have reached this stage purely because of social media. That's the only reason.
No, it's just another outlet for narcissism. That's all it's done. It just amplifies things. There's always been things like that. But 15 years ago, if you wanted to write a complaint to the BBC, you say, you get out your pen and paper and go, dear BBC, I can't fucking be bothered. Now you go, you tweet something, someone else gets involved, they get involved, a press person's reading it, it's a story. Because it's a spur of the moment. It's shouting out of a window and someone shouting back. Whereas We didn't have that before. So it's about amplification. It's all about amplification. And there's also an equivalence, there's quite a democracy on Twitter, whereas you can have a genius, you can have Richard Dawkins tweet something, and underneath it is some bloke in a bin tweeting something in the same font, and it gives it an equivalence. Do you know what I mean? You've read them both. You've read them both, and you go, right, and that can, amplify. And I think you have to treat it like that. You have to treat it like you've walked past some graffiti, and it's for you to get offended. No one's ever hurt my feelings on Twitter. It would be like imagine you walking down Savile Row, right?
Yeah.
Where I know you hang out. And there's a man in a bin covered in his own shit, and he shouts wanker. Imagine you getting into an argument with him.
It's happened.
Yeah. Yeah. But then on Twitter, suddenly you're in a discussion with this guy on Twitter. So you've given him all this credence, So you've got to treat it like that. And it's terrible with some trolls really do target people, vulnerable people, and it's awful. But if you turn your phone off, it's not there anymore. And I think we have to treat these people like that they should be treated. They are in a bin.
So we were chatting beforehand, I was chatting with some friends, and one of the questions came up about comedy and the fact that we couldn't think of many, if any, comedians who were religious. I'm not asking for example, I'm just saying, do we think it's a thing that most stand-ups tend to be agnostic or atheist or...
I think so. I think that's because a lot of comedians are critical thinkers. I think a lot of them are science-based.
They're intelligent.
Well, I don't want to. Well, yeah. But then a lot of religious people are intelligent, but they've been got at an early age, and it's like, I think they're braver. Some people, there's still a thing of not saying I'm an atheist because people think that it's a bad thing to be. Parents still christen their kids instead of school because they think it's a respectable thing to do, that's sad, but I get it. There's a couple though. They don't put it in their act, I don't think. Tim Vine is very devout Christian.
Yes, true. Yes. But in general, they tend to be, I think, more sceptical or...
I think that's because they look at things from all angles and they come up with funny ideas. And I look at the idea, and I think that's what's wrong, and that's what dogma does, is that people try and give ideas human rights, so you leave them alone. And you don't have to. You can ridicule ideas without hurting anyone. And some people say...
That deserves a round of applause.
Oh, thank you. And they found it shuts some people up. If they say that's hurt, you can be accused of racism or anything if you criticize an idea. And it's people jumping in the way of a bullet and saying, "Why are you shooting at me?" And it comes back to Richard's point that I'm offended. That's not an argument. It's not an argument. It's like me being offended if someone takes the mickey out of maths. It's like, go on, yeah, fine, yeah. Do you know what I mean? You can laugh at maths. It doesn't affect maths. It doesn't affect maths. The other thing is this ridiculous thing of, let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they... You know how fucking stupid the average person is? We still sell bottles of bleach with big labels on that say, "Do not drink." Right? Let's take those labels off, right? For 2 years, and then have a referendum. I don't want any fat people to feel uncomfortable at one of my gigs, so next time, buy 2 seats. I'm joking. I'm joking. Shut up. I'm not having a go. I'm just pointing out, you know. I was listening to the radio in England a few weeks back, Radio 4, quite highbrow. There was a discussion about political correctness. My name came up straight away, right? And there was this woman on there going, oh yeah, well it's not right. Ricky Gervais, he makes jokes about fat people. He wouldn't make jokes about gay people, would he? And being fat is like being gay. What? No, it's not. What? You can't choose your sexuality. As we've established, you choose whether to eat too much or not. You know, with your sexuality, you're born, you grow up, you discover you like same-sex relationships, and that's it. You're gay, okay? For being gay to be the same as being fat, you'd have to be born, be straight, grow up knowing you're straight, but gradually and consciously wean yourself onto cock. Babies. In at home, just reading the newspaper. This little girl comes running in. She's only 6. Hello, darling. Hello, Daddy. You've been playing? Yeah. In the park? Yeah. With your friends? Well, until the man came along. Till the man came along? Yeah, a man came along and he asked my friends to leave, so it was just me and him. Darling, come over. Whatever happened, none of it was your fault, okay, darling? None of it was your fault. But tell Daddy every detail. What happened? He took me behind a tree so no one could see what you were doing. Oh, God, darling, and then what happened? He took my dress off. Oh, God, what happened next? What happened? He took his thing out. Oh, God, darling, and then what happened? Nothing, that was it. Oh, well, make something up. He was the ringleader. Old Adolf. That name's died out, hasn't it? He killed that dead, didn't he? No one's calling their kid Adolf nowadays. No little Adolfs going to school. Loads of Brads and Angelinas, but no, look, you don't hear the teacher doing the register. Brad here, Angelina here, Adolf here. I'll do that quick so no one can take a picture of me doing that. No, but people make excuses for him. People say, oh, he was stupid, he was easily led, he didn't mean that. What do you mean he didn't mean that? They say, oh no, he was influenced by the political philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, right? Because Nietzsche wrote this paper talking about a Superman. He said, not all men are born equal. And Hitler misinterpreted this and went way too far with it. And think of that. You're a great scholar, you've done this work, and you get a call from the Führer. And the Führer goes, all right, Nietzsche. He goes, yeah, good, what do you want? He goes, just read your book. What do you think? Love it. Love all that, man and Superman, not everyone's equal, kill all the Jews. Sorry? not everyone's equal, so kill all the Jews. I didn't write that. I read between the lines. I didn't mean that. That's terrible. You haven't been killing... You haven't been killing Jewish people, have you? What? Have you been killing Jewish people? Yeah. Yeah. A few. How many? 6 million. 6 million? That's what I won't do anymore. Leave it at 6. That's terrible. I won't do any more. Stay for dinner? Well, I will, but be careful in future. I will. Are you writing any other books? Well, I am, but I'm scared to tell you about it. I won't do anything. What's your new book called? My new book is called The Gypsies. Do we need them? We've come a long way from it being punishable to total equality, as it should be, of course. In England, the gay age of consent, same as heterosexuality now, 16, and even gay marriage. Although, ironically, the one place that was really ahead of the game fell behind a little at the last election, California. They had a referendum, they put it to the vote, and they voted no to gay marriage. I mean, in California, there's people going, that's why we moved here. I mean, it's a strange sort of bigotry that you can affect someone else's lifestyle that doesn't affect you back. It's not like they asked a bloke once, said, sorry, do you mind if these two men get married? He went, no, fine, okay, jack them off then. What? I didn't know that was going That doesn't happen, does it? That doesn't happen. It's also a strange sort of bigotry because these people that object to that were presumably the same people that said, you know, gay people were immoral and promiscuous, but now they don't want to be monogamous and respectful in the eyes of God. And it must be so confusing to a gay guy in California thinking, that's the bit they don't like. With all the other shit we get up to, it's the marriage bit that must so confuse. They must go to judges and go, sorry, can I get the rules straight? What do you want to know? I just need to know what we can and can't do. Ask away. Can I marry a man? No. Can I fuck him up the arse and give him a little reach round? Please. Can't marry him? No. But and the little... Can I pick up a stranger in the bushes and take him home and jizz on him and throw him out in the morning all crusty and homeless? Of course you can, yeah. But I couldn't marry him, no. No, and don't ask again. Could I line up 15 men? I'm just riffing here. Could I line up 15 men and just jack them off? For a laugh. If you want, yeah. Yeah. It would be difficult, wouldn't it? Jacking off 15 men at once. It would be like plate spinning. Wouldn't it? No. Because you could only do 2 at once, really, so you'd have these 2 ready to blow, but then they'd be losing it, and you'd go, fucking hell. Oh, there you go. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Ain't it knackering? Jacking off 15 men at once. Never thought I'd say that. Oh.
And welcome to The One Show with Matt Baker.
And Alex Jones. Now, tonight we are joined by 4-time Olympic gold medalist and world record holder Michael Johnson is with us in the studio tonight, everybody. And Michael is going to tell us all how, with a simple online test, you can find out how competitive you are.
Yeah, but that's not all.
No.
Oh, no. We're also joined by a man who hasn't got any Olympic medals and holds no world records over any distance.
No.
But on the plus side, he is quite funny. It's Ricky Gervais.
Good to see you, Ricky. Good to see you. So we're doing this little thing on competitiveness tonight. Now, obviously, you're a very successful man. Do you have that competitive drive?
Over trivial things.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like Tiddlywinks.
Oh, Tiddlywinks, pub quiz. Pub quiz, I'm heckling the presenter, and I'll be pedantic. I'll try and just get 1 extra point. Oh, it's terrible. It's awful. I'm a typical bloke. I can't lose at Trivial Pursuits. That's forget it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll talk to Michael about that later.
Okay, yeah.
Very interesting little...
Running? Yeah, carry on. You can win.
Have it, Michael.
Well, brilliant. Well, Ricky's here to talk about his brand new series, or the third third series of the series, The Ricky Gervais Show, where he appears as a cartoon. And it's not a bad likeness, this.
No, it's not. But watch out, Ricky. Watch out, because if the similarity gets any closer, you might accidentally stumble into Uncanny Valley. I hope not. I think it's a bit creepy.
That's creepy. It's that whole thing that you just can't relate to that character at all. You know they've got no emotion, so therefore it's a bit weird. What did you make of Emily there, Ricky?
Well, I think the technology is amazing, but I think when it's an animation, it sort of defeats the object, really. I think that there's less escapism. It seems to... I don't know, you might as well get the actor in.
Well, that's what I think, exactly.
Although I'd rather have one of them do me, so I don't have to turn up. So
but I mean, the style of the characters in the Ricky Gervais Show, I mean, that's key, isn't it?
Well, I wanted that to be really retro and cuddly, because the things we talk about are so out there and quite challenging that I didn't want it to be trendy and spiky and challenging in any way, so I wanted it sort of, you know, Hanna-Barbera and sweet. You know, and I sort of designed the original sketches and sent them off to the animators, who are amazing.
So with
the original drawings, they obviously made them.
Oh, they are really lovely.
And then they actually said, with mine, between Series 2 and Series 3, they said, oh, you've lost a bit of weight and you've got a beard now, do you want to change it? And I went, no, that'd be too expensive. You know, so leave him fat and shiny, what do I care? No, but I like it to be a time capsule. I like those, even if Carl got hit on the head now and he suddenly became really smart, they're a little... Do you know what I mean? He's there forever. My note on him was even rounder. I kept going, look, he's rounder than that. I said, we've got compasses. I said, no, he's rounder than that. Right. Just keep it going.
Compasses.
But the new show is back on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks like you three friends in there having a chat. I mean, how much of it is ad-lib then? How
it's
do
all
you
ad-lib.
work it out?
It's all, people say, is it scripted? As if we'd bother scripting that rubbish.
But do you have topics
so well, though, doesn't it? I mean, are you surprised at that? Because
we went in there. I did it as an experiment. I thought it'd be funny. I just love being in a room with Carl Pilkington. He's my best mate. I'd be doing it anyway. I call him all the time. I'm going to call him after the show, and I just thought that's fun. I think that's what, you know, normal people do. They chat, and we tried to do that, and then we put it out, uploaded it as a podcast, and it went crazy, and then, you know, this happened. But it was just an experiment. It was just fun. It was a labour of love, really, you know. And, but it's totally ad lib. Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at one of the shows. Here we are.
It's great. It's his sort of, he observes the world, but then he makes up his own facts. Like, he's obviously heard that they like the taste of the goose, so they're nicking stamps. That quantum leap to them nicking stamps. And then they're sweating glue.
I like that, sweating glue.
His knowledge of the animal kingdom is fantastic. It's just great. I love to get him on the big subjects, because he's amazing.
But this is actually the third series, and, you know, historically, you don't do a third series,
no,
do you? Office and Extras was 2.
Yeah, 2 series and a special. But you've got to realise, with this, someone else is doing all the hard work. I just chatted. I'm selling this the 3rd time now. No, it's the 3rd season. I mean, it's 39 episodes, which is more... I think that's more than the Office annexes put together. But we are doing a special of Idiot Abroad. He's off on his travels now, so... You know, you know.
You do put him in the, well, extraordinary situations. Do you ever feel, you know, bad for that or not?
No, he's my gift to the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think he's the funniest guy in the world. He's my best mate, and for people who say I'm bullying him, write in if you want to be bullied by me, because you get your own series, you get a new house, and you become a millionaire.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal, is it?
Well, listen, one of the big parts of the animation is your laugh. It's brilliant. Okay, we've got a little game for.
Well, brilliant to some. Well, some people want to scratch their own ears off.
Well, let's have a little reminder of the laugh. Here we go.
Howl at the end.
Nothing makes me laugh like him. He's like that. Oh, people say, is he real? Well, if he's not real, he keeps the act up 24/7. He's just funny all the time.
Well, I tell you what, we were wondering, weren't we, whether you could sort of guess other people's laughs. So, guess the laugh, this game is. Now, the famous people...
Famous people, yeah. As opposed to, he works in our chip shop.
That's
three. Norman.
We've got 3. OK, Ricky. Listen up, here comes the first one.
OK. Sid James.
Nailed it straight away.
That's really good.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. OK, here's our second famous laugh. Again?
I've no idea.
Think about it. He's a friend of yours.
More. There he is, it's Jimmy Carr.
Okay, stop it.
It's a bit creepy after a while.
It's like a ghost.
Yeah.
It is. This third one's quite hard, isn't it?
Yeah, good luck with this one. Here we go.
It's a female.
Oh, I didn't get the last one. What? Female what?
Singer, female
It's
singer.
a female singer.
Human.
Human.
That's her actual laugh.
Do it again. Yeah, I like it. Go on.
One more. It's Adele.
Wow.
What a
That's
gig.
good.
Wow.
She's got a lovely voice, but not when she laughs. That's funny.
Anyway.
Brilliant, there we are.
The third series of the Ricky Gervais Show starts next Tuesday on E4 at 11:30. Now, Ricky, anybody who follows you on Twitter will know you're a big cat lover.
Yeah.
You post pictures of you and Ollie the cat quite often.
Right across Britain. There we go. But did you know that as a cat lover in the 1960s, you could walk into Harrods and pick up yourself
I can't believe it.
a lion cub?
That's ridiculous.
It does sound absolutely mental, but anyway, here's Giles to explain all.
Goosebumps, that has.
What a moment.
Oh, me and Giles have got tears.
It's an amazing
Tears
story,
everywhere,
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's an extraordinary story, and it is not unique. I've got another bit of footage to show you now about Queeby the gorilla. Queeby the gorilla was brought up in captivity at the Aspinall Family Zoo in Kent, hand-reared for 5 years. Then he became too big. They knew they had to release him into the wild.
Yeah.
They went to West Africa, to the Gabon, and they gave, as it were, Queeby back to nature, as they rightly should. 5 years later, Damien Aspinall thought, I wonder what's happening. So he went to Africa 5 years later. The last time Queeby had been seen, twice he'd attacked humans. And Damien went in a boat to try and find him. Came to the shore, calling out his name, looking for this wild gorilla. And watch what happened next.
And I go and see him, and he embraces me and hugs me, and there's just not many better moments than that. You know, you develop these incredibly strong emotional bonds because they're so closely related to us.
See, Damien and the gorilla had not met for 5 years, but the gorilla definitely did remember. And this is all to do with something called imprinting. Essentially, about 100 years ago, this was discovered. When baby animals are born, indeed when birds are hatched from their eggs, the first thing they see, even if it's an inanimate object, the first thing they see moving, they want to follow it. It imprints itself on them. And this actually has had some wonderful implications in terms of conservation. Condors in California were dying out. There were about 9 of them left in the early 1980s, because condors, great wild birds, they only breed when they're about 6 years of age. They breed quite slowly, only 1 egg every 2 years. So they had this idea of actually taking the egg away from the live condor, letting it hatch, and then showing the condor a puppet of a condor. Here's a photograph of a puppet of a condor apparently rearing a baby condor. This enabled the adult to give birth to another chicken and lay another egg, and they were able to, as it were, rear these baby condors with puppets of condors. And now in California, from 9, there are about 100, I think it's about 178 condors.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's that interesting argument of should you allow the imprinting to happen with the humans, which obviously it happened there with, with the lion cub and the
problem
gorillas.
is, if in general you shouldn't keep wild animals. It's simple as that. The fact that they are so intelligent and it proves they shouldn't be imprisoned for our amusement. They're not here for our amusement. It is a privilege, and that's a nice ending, but it shouldn't have been in Harrods in the first place. It's people see things like this and they think, oh, how cute, I could have one, and they just shouldn't.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't keep a wild animal.
And it can't be done now, of course. There was legislation that followed that made it impossible. And it does now make a contribution to conservation. So it's a difficult one.
Yeah, that's different.
Well, thanks, Giles, for that. It's
Thank you,
lovely.
Giles.
Thank you.
Now, the Boeing 787, or Dreamliner as it's known, has landed in the UK for the first time, and from next year will be transporting thousands of us on our summer holidays.
But the makers claim that it's one of the quietest and greenest airliners ever made, so we sent the sceptical Matt.
We are joined now by Olympian and world record holder Michael Johnson. You're launching a a brand new BBC online experiment today looking into sports psychology, aren't you?
Right, and it's, it can help anyone. So anyone who goes online and takes the test can be helped about, in terms of the pressure they feel, whether it's a job interview or speaking in front of people or sitting next to Ricky. It can help you, understand how you deal with pressure. And then all of the data that's you like that, huh?
Yeah.
All of the data that's collected will help scientists and psychologists figure out, what type of characteristics actually make people better at handling pressure and worse. But the one thing that most people don't understand is that you can improve.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stay where you are.
It's interesting, Tess. We did it this afternoon.
Yeah,
you find
we did.
out in what conditions you work best in. Yours was happiness, wasn't it? And mine was excitement. And then, you give your little tips as we go. Now, Ricky was saying earlier on, and kind of jokingly, but pub quizzes and Trivial Pursuit and stuff like that. What state are you in when you're playing that? Because this is the key, isn't it, Mike?
It is.
I just want to win.
But are you angry?
Anger.
Anger.
No, it's sort of tongue-in-cheek, but it's that thing of pressure. I suppose I do go from 0 to 60. I can be having the best day in the world, and something goes wrong, and it's like, yeah. So it's. Well, I told him what?
So it's anger.
Yeah. So I suppose I try and rule stress out of my life actually. So I avoid stress by making sure things are okay. I don't know if that
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to perform better when he's angry. You would need to take the test to see, but I don't, some people feel more comfortable when they're angry. Like, I felt better and I competed better when I didn't really like one of my competitors.
Right.
But you can't really rely on
But yours
that.
is explosive, isn't it? Yours is sort of like physical.
But I don't want to have to be running around trying to find somebody to be angry about, before I go into a race. So you can't really rely on that.
No.
And you want to make this the biggest experiment of its kind ever, don't you?
Yeah,
It's competitive,
we just launched it.
That's right.
That's why
I'm doing a bigger one. It starts on ITV tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, go on, Michael. So, the idea.
Yeah, let me go on. We just launched it this morning. 18,000 people have already signed on to it, and so we want to get over 1 million people. And this will, and again, it helps people understand better how they deal with pressure and how to improve themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we can see you here in outstanding form. This is you. It's 16 years ago, I think, setting the 400-metre time and set that record more and more and more. But how secure do you think it is these days, Michael?
You never know. And, somebody's going to break it one day. You never know when someone's going to come along, some kid who's tremendously talented and who takes the online experiment and finds out that he performs really well under pressure and he goes to the Olympics and he breaks my world record. And then, and look, the special thing about records is breaking them. I'm not doing anything right now to hold it. I'll never forget the moment I broke it. It was a great sense of accomplishment, and I'll always have that.
Well, it's so inspiring to talk to you. Thanks ever so much for dropping in.
If you want to get involved with the Can You Compete Under Pressure test, then all the details are on our website, or you can go direct to bbc.co.uk/compete. Thank you so much for coming in, Michael. Ricky, lovely to see you. The Ricky Gervais show starts next Tuesday, E4 at 11:30 p.m.
On tomorrow night's show, it's only the greatest living painter that I know. Do you know who it is, yes?
Rolf Harris?
Indeed. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
When you see one of those documentaries on telly, like the 600-pound man or something, and he's being winched out of his house to go to hospital, right? If you're dangling from a crane, right, and you see a film crew, right, you know you fucked it. And then, as I say, then they wake up the next day and they've had their legs amputated. It's really sad, and they're crying and I'm crying. They go, oh, God, why did I let it go this far? I'm so stupid. Then they get philosophical about it and they go, I never really used the legs. And then it's lunchtime, and so, and they go to the nurse, you didn't throw them legs away, did you?
What do you like to do when you're here in the city?
Well, eat, usually, because but we've had Christmas, and I put on £5 at Christmas. In fact, I tweeted, so I put on £5, fat shame me to get me out of it, and people were saying things like, how did you get Ricky Gervais into a shower? Grease the sides and throw in a cookie. So, right? Unbelievable. I saw a documentary back in England about this woman who was 350 pounds because she ate 10 burger and fries a day. That'll do it. 10 separate meals of burger and fries. 10 separate trips to McDonald's, right? In a cab. Oh, didn't even walk that. Wasted calories, okay? So, to stop her eating these meals, they wired her jaw together. So she liquidized 10 burger and fries a day. Now she's on burger smoothies. Now she's not even chewing. That used up 3 calories. So lo and behold, she gets fatter. So they admitted her to have that thing done where you staple your stomach together. And she's sitting there in hospital, looking all depressed. Well, you can't eat for an hour before an operation, can you? Lank hair, smock. Christ knows where they got that, right? And she said, it's a really dangerous procedure, but it's the only option left. 1, jogging. You don't even walk. Right. Salad. You don't like the taste. 3, 9 burger and fries a day. I was on a plane last year, okay, going from New York to LA, okay, and me and my girlfriend were one side of the plane, there was the aisle, and the other side there were these 2 huge fat women, okay, proper fat. One of them just got on and went, can I have a belt extension? Yeah, of course you can, you've earned it, right? So, proper. In fact, I was thinking of calling the pilot out and going, should one of us swap with one of them? Otherwise, we're just going to Canada. Do you know what I mean? And one of them was even fatter than the other one, okay? And she was there, and she'd got on the plane with one of those takeaway buckets of fast food. Bucket! I mean, there's your first clue. When did that happen? When did fat people just give up? When did they go into a shop and go, oh, fuck it, just treat me like a farmyard animal? Really? Give me it in a bucket. In fact, just strap it to my fucking head and I'll just... A bucket? Really? You want your meal in a bucket? Yes. Right? So, she's there and she's chowing down, right? And I swear, she turns to her fat friend and says, this is the best fried chicken I've had all day. Now, there's even a stigma, like doctors get in trouble for saying to someone, you're overweight or obese. They go, no, that's a political thing. No, it's like fat shaming. It's not fat, you don't get cancer shaming. He's trying to save your life, right? There was a school that tried to ban the word obese because they said it was derogatory to, I don't know what to call them, round children, right? But that's the polite word. That's the word we invented, so we didn't say fat little fucker. Don't keep changing words because one person gets offended. Also, fat people aren't offended by the word obese. They did it all. They're happy with it. They're jolly, aren't they? They're jolly. You know, you see a fat people go, all right, fatty. Yeah. Yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah. And they go to the doctor, come in. Doctor goes, fuck me. Oh. Am I obese? No, you're morbidly obese. What does that mean? Means you're going to die of it. Oh, does it? All right. What, straight away or? No. You've got diabetes, so you're having your legs amputated soon. And then if you carry on, you'll die later of like stroke and respiratory, heart failure. So, all right. Is there anything I can do? Oh, yeah, of course there is. You could start working out and eat healthy, you'll be right as rain. Oh, right. But you won't, will you? Particularly fat women, because fat is a feminist issue. Men get fat and we just go, fuck it, all bought and paid for, you know. We don't come under the same constraints of society, whereas women are inundated with images of how you should be, size 0 models, this diet, that diet, look like this, keep your man. And they make such an effort, don't they, fat girls? They've always got lovely hair, aren't they? They're always having their hair. They've all got lovely hair. Always got lovely hair. Always got those lovely false nails, haven't they? They make an effort. Anything but jogging, right? They love high heels, don't they? They think it makes their legs look less... It doesn't. It just... You can just hear him coming now. I don't want any fat people to feel uncomfortable at one of my gigs, so next time, buy 2 seats. I'm joking. I'm joking. Shut up. We have some fat people in Britain, but you, like everything else, are the gold medalists of that as well, right? You'd win that in the Olympics. I saw this episode of Jerry Springer. It was called Jerry Springer Saves the World's Fattest Man. You've got to watch that. So he's there going, okay, let's try and save this guy's life. He's got a heart of gold as well. He's like me, right? So it cut to this guy at home in his house. They couldn't bring him to the studio. They had a camera crew there. And I say house, he was in a trailer, obviously. And he was. He was like a big blob on the bed. He sort of filled the trailer. He looked like an uncooked souffle. And you could just see like his eyes in this doughy mess. And he was going, I don't want to die, Jerry. I don't want to die. And I felt sorry for him. I got over that. And I said, how much do you weigh? And he weighed 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds. Now, my point is this. When he weighed himself one day and he was, say, 500 pounds, didn't he think then that was a lot? Didn't he go, that's a lot? For a human? For what is essentially a land mammal? That's a lot. I'll only have 8 breakfasts today.
When we were kids and we'd sneak out with your parents' vodka, laying grass fields, watch shooting stars, yeah, we were good.
I'm fat, I'm overweight. Do you know why? Because I eat and drink too much. That's what does it. I don't judge fat people, I just know how they got fat. If I see a fat person, I go, well done. You know, you've eaten way more than you'll ever need, same as me, right? If I see a fat couple, I go, yeah, that works, right? But then as they're walking along, right, and you see their little fat toddlers, and you go, that's not fair, right? And the mother always goes, they love cake. Of course they love cake. They're baby mammals. We're the same species as we were like 200,000 years ago. We've got a hunter-gatherer brain, right? All this affluence is so much faster than our human biology. So when you get one of those cakes from the supermarket that's packed with fats and sugar, your brain goes, fucking hell, that's amazing. Keep eating that. There might not be food tomorrow. But there will be food tomorrow. The fridge is full and your mum's on the phone to Ocado. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about it, but I do an awful lot for charity. But I think some causes are more worthy than others. Joking aside, obviously cancer is a very worthy cause, autism's a very worthy cause. But I got asked to do a benefit gig recently for sufferers of obesity. What? She went, sufferers of obesity. I went, do you mean fat people? She went, no, because obesity is, well, she actually went, no, because she was eating. She went, good. No, just, between snacks, like. And she went, obesity is a disease. No, it's not, is it? You just like eating, don't you? No, it's not, is it? How is that a disease? Oh, I'm so fucking ill. I'm well ill. Oh. I said, what's the disease? She went, everything tastes good. Everything? Yeah. Not salads. It's not a disease, is it? Leprosy is a disease. Can you imagine Jesus in the temple? People shuffling up to him in bandages going, Jesus, my face is falling off. I can't stop now. There's a fat chick on her third thigh. People say, they make excuses, don't they, fat people? They say, it's glandular. It's not glandular, it's greed, okay? It's big bones. Yeah, big bones covered in meat and gravy. They complain, and it's their own fault. Oh, I'm getting fat. Oh, look, I'm getting fat. Oh, aeroplane seats. They're not big enough for someone like me. No, they're not. Because if they were, we'd only get 12 fucking people on the plane. It's not fair. It is fair. That's what does it. And if we're talking about fairness and aeroplanes, why is it I get the same luggage allowance as a guy who's 400 pounds? We're both allowed to carry on 32 kilograms to the plane. I want to go, no, he used up his 32 kilograms on his tits. And I think that's the important thing, because I've often said that people get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can.
You should be able to.
You just can.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's nothing sacred. But people then they go, wow, yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like? I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive.
Yeah.
I want them to start saying I found it offensive, because you've got to own the emotion, because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing intrinsically offensive about this joke.
Keep my wife's name out your f***ing mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your f***ing mouth.
I'm going to, okay? That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Huy hiệu huân chương vàng, huy chương bạc là đã được nhà nước công nhận của cái nhà sản xuất ra những cái túi này, nhìn là rất chi là ưng và rất chi là bắt mắt. Đấy. Và bên sườn túi đây, đằng sau của cái chiếc hộp này thì các bạn cũng đã quan sát, nền thì cũng đã được làm bằng màu xanh. Đấy. Và hơn loạt kia là 4 xung quanh này, như các bạn quan sát là được kẻ bằng màu vàng để nổi bật hơn hẳn so với này màu nền, nhìn rất chi là vuông, rất chi là đẹp. Trên của cái đầu túi là các bạn cũng đã quan sát, huy hiệu thì được tô vào trên một cái màu xanh, bản lộ 4 phân, đấy, rất chi là đẹp. Và những cái hình bầu trứng này, đấy, đó là những cái biểu tượng của cái kẹo và những cái danh hiệu của công ty. Đấy. Dưới này như các bạn quan sát, ngoài những kẹo xoáy chuột ốc và những cái kẹo giải quạt ra thì còn có cả những kẹo vừng hình tròn, rất chi là thẩm mỹ và rất chi là hậu quả. Đấy. Và kèm theo những cái bông hoa, đấy, các bạn, cũng như là lá cây, đấy, và những cái nguyên liệu thể hiện chúng ta rất chi là đẹp. Đấy. Dưới cùng của đằng sau chiếc hộp thì các bạn cũng đã quan sát, đấy, có những cái mã vạch để chúng ta kiểm tra hàng thật, hàng giả, các bạn. Và trên những cái mã vạch đó là những cái dòng chữ mà chúng ta đang đọc ở đây, đó là những nguyên liệu và những để làm ra một chiếc túi này là gồm những nguyên liệu gì, không những phải là giấy ta không mà còn phải thêm những cái gì đó nhá các bạn nhé. Và những cái ngày sản xuất, đấy, cũng như là hạn sử dụng, đấy, rồi là chịu trách nhiệm bản quyền là ai, ông Thanh, ông Thành, đấy, đó là chịu trách nhiệm về những cái bản quyền này. Đấy. Thế rồi nơi sản xuất, cơ sở 1 và cơ sở 2, đấy, cũng như là ghi được in sẵn ở trên bao bì, các bạn ạ. Rất chi là rõ ràng. Và đây đó là những cái chi tiết, ví dụ như một cái hộp này đó là khối lượng tịch đấy là bao nhiêu đấy. Thế thì khối lượng tịch của cái hộp này là 430 gram các bạn nhé. Đấy là khối lượng tịch giới thiệu các bạn đấy. Và số điện thoại của nhà sản xuất như các bạn là cũng đã xem ở trong góc trước hộp mà kẹo đây đấy. Số điện thoại là 677 đấy, 677 324 và 2021 2021 đấy. Dưới đây là số điện thoại của cơ sở sản xuất đấy, rất chi là chi tiết và rõ ràng. Các bạn thấy không đấy. Và cũng đã được nhà sản xuất là ghi từng địa chỉ một, cho nên là các bạn rất chi là dễ kiểm soát khi mình đã mua những chiếc hộp kẹo như thế này mà trên tay mình đang cầm ở đây. Các bạn không? Nếu mà các bạn đã có rất kiểm soát được về cái chất lượng cũng như là sản phẩm và nguyên liệu để làm ra những một chiếc hộp như này, thì các bạn cũng không phải hỏi ai cả, mà trên chiếc hộp này đã in sẵn cho chúng ta để từ số điện thoại cho đến cơ sở sản xuất, cho nên là các bạn yên tâm về sử dụng những cái hộp kẹo như mình đang cầm trên tay đây. Đấy, trong video này mình cũng chỉ giới thiệu sơ bộ với các bạn như vậy. Xin chào các bạn và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở video lần sau. Xin chào tạm biệt.